So now we continue on A Course in Miracles, text chapter 30, the new beginning, and we move on to 30.5, the truth behind illusions. So ultimately, you've never left God. You've never left. So you're still perfect. You are still perfect, dreaming that you're not. So now, what else do you want to know? You've never left God. You are still perfect. If there's a judgment, who's having it? It's not you. If there's a fear, who's having it? It's not you. If there's a worry, if there's a resistance, if there's a complaint, it's not you. You have never left God. You're still perfect. So who seems to be having the experience? The part of you that lied to you, made you believe that you are it. We call that the ego. But if you've never left God, where is the ego? Never existed. So are you giving it any attention? Do you realize that when you fully trust completely, you must therefore fully know yourself? Because the self is the trust. So be thyself, and the trust will come. And you realize when the trust is there, you won't give a single thought to tomorrow, or what next, or how will it, and how am I going to, and what will, and how do I feed my family, and how do I do. It won't even come into awareness, because it can't come into awareness, because it's a thought. Awareness is aware. There will be no thought about tomorrow, because there'll just be the awareness of the now, the eternal now, the infinite lightness of being. And everything else takes care of itself, so you'll never worry again. But you will attack what does not satisfy you. The minute you think you're this, and the minute you don't believe you're still home. And thus you will not see you made it up. You made the whole damn thing up. You always fight illusions. For the truth behind them is so lovely and so still in loving gentleness. Were you aware of it, you would forget defensiveness entirely and rush to its embrace, the silent stillness. Because it's so lovely and so still. The truth could never be attacked, because it's not even known. So if it's not known, how could it be attacked? How can you know? But you are that which is known. You are the knower. And once you know you are the knower, even the knower dissolves. And this you knew when you made idols, because you wanted to be special, and God could not provide that for you, because you were the extension of his love, the extension of his sonship, and his love was equal unto all of itself. Idols were made that this might be forgotten. And you attack but false ideas, you attack other illusions, and never truthful ones, because you don't know them. All idols are false ideas you made to fill the gap, dream. You think arose between yourself and what is true. And you attack them for the things you think they represent. And what lies beyond them cannot be attacked, because what lies beyond them isn't known. There's a statement that the New Age spiritualist likes to make. Oh, we yet to make known the unknown. The unknown will forever be unknown. You're only here to make known the forgotten within yourself. And when the forgotten is known, even the known dissolves, and the knower is known by itself. And even then that dissolves, because the knower is the I am, and even the I am dissolves into the silent stillness of the eternal extending light of God. The wearing, dissatisfying gods you made are blown up children's toys, people, places, things, and events, ideas of romance, ideas of special love relationships, ideas of grandiosity, fame, fortune. A child is frightened when a wooden head springs up as a closed box is opened suddenly, Jack in the Box. Or when a soft, silent, woolly bear begins to squeak as he squeezes it, takes hold of it. The rules he made for boxes and for bears have failed him and have broken his control of what surrounds him. And he is afraid because he thought the rules protected him. Now must the child learn the boxes and the bears did not deceive him. They broke no rules, nor mean his world is made chaotic and unsafe. He was simply mistaken. He misunderstood what made him safe and thought that it had left. The gap, the dream, the identity, the illusion, the gap, that's what the gap is. That is not there, is filled with toys in countless forms. Gap is the dream. And each one seems to break the rules you set for it. It never does what you want it to do. It never was the thing you thought. It must appear to break your rules for safety, since the rules were wrong. Because the only rules that ensure your safety is the rules that let go of the illusion. There are no boxes, and you return to thyself. But you are not endangered. You can laugh at the popping heads and squeaking toys, as does the child who learns they are no threat to him. Yet while he likes to play with them, he still perceives them as obeying rules he made for his enjoyment. And there's the problem. Because on the other side of enjoyment, pleasure, is pain, two sides of the same coin. They go hand in hand. And that's why we hope, because we hope for the next point of pleasure, not realizing that between the hope is the pain, is the suffering, while we're asleep. So there are still rules that they can seem to break and frighten him. Yet is he at the mercy of his toys? Are you at the mercy of your illusionary constructs? Can this illusion represent a threat to you? No, it cannot, Holy Son of God. You are the eternal reality of God. You are the eternal light, eternal lightness of being. Nothing can touch the light. No shadow comes close, but dissolves when it approaches the light. There is no fear. Reality observes the laws of God, the laws of one, and not the rules you set, the rules of separation. It is God's laws that guarantee your safety. All the illusions that you believe about yourself obey no laws. They're chaos. They're random. They seem to dance a little while according to the rules you set for them, but then they fall and cannot rise again. They are but toys, my child. Do not grieve for them. So all these illusions you create, people, places, things, and events, they last a little while. They make you excited for a little while. A new car smells wonderful the first 3 or 4 weeks, maybe a month, maybe even a year, and then it's just a car. Their dancing never brought you joy, because if it was temporary, it wasn't joy, it was an illusion. But neither were the things to frighten you, nor make you safe if they obeyed your rules. They must neither be cherished nor attacked. Just don't let go. Don't now start abandoning. You have to give up all your possessions. Don't do that. The minute you have to give up your possession, you've made it real and then you've given it away. It might as well hang on. A fridge is just a fridge. It keeps your groceries cold. But merely look upon them as children's toys without a single meaning of their own. Don't attach meaning to anything. Don't imagine it to serve you in some obscure way that you think is going to fulfill your fantasies. See one in them and you'll see them all. They're but illusionary constructs of a mind asleep. See none in them and they will not touch you. Appearances deceive because they are appearances. They appear. And if it appears, it disappears, therefore never real. It was not reality. Dwell not on them in form. They but obscure reality, and they bring fear because they hid the truth in their appearances. Do not attack what you have made to let you be deceived, for thus you prove that you have been deceived. Do not attack the world you've made, the things you own, the things you have. because then you prove they've been deceived. So that it's just there now. Now just no longer attached. Don't detach, don't throw away, don't run away from. Just let go of your grip. Non-attachment. Not detachment. Don't push away. Let go. Open your hands. Receive. Empty your cup. Attack has power to make illusions real. Yet what it makes is nothing. Who could be made fearful by a power that can have no effects at all? It's just in the dreaming mind. What could it be but an illusion making things appear like to itself? Look calmly at the entire world as its toys and understand that they are idols which but dance to vain desires. They dance because of your vain desires. You made manifest them for them to dance. Give them not your worship, including teachers, especially teachers. Don't put them on a pedestal. Ramana, Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, none of them. They are but yourself. Your brother's an extension of you. And if they remember, so can you. But you are the same. The minute you pedestal them, you've gone into duality. Where are the characters in a dream when the dreamer is awake? Holy Son of God. What is the difference of any character in a dream? Is any character in the dream more important at a higher level of consciousness, a more advanced soul? When you awaken and forgotten the dream, what matter did it have that any character was? You don't return as individuals to God. You're not going to find yourself in heaven. There's Jesus and there's Buddha and there's Krishna. You awaken as the Christ. Everything that's ever existed in illusion awakens as one Christ in God. And as it awakens as the one Christ in God, it extends and joins with the light. Where was the Christ when there is only God? Give them not your worship, for they are not there. Jesus included Course in Miracles teachers for God. Yet this is equally forgotten in attack. God's Son, you, needs no defense against your dreams. Your idols do not threaten you at all. Your one mistake is that you think them real. You think this world is real, and you want to fix the world. Fix the filter. Fix the identity. Let it go. Be thyself, knowingly, abide in silence. And once you fix the dreamer, return to the self, the Christ itself, the illusion changes for you and becomes a happy reflection until God takes the final step. What can the power of illusions do? Appearances can but deceive the mind who wants to be deceived, who wants to cry, who wants to be attached, who wants to feel special, who wants to be spiritual, who wants to be an older, more advanced soul, who kundalinis and reikis and all of that nonsense, all of those illusionary concepts. Throw them all away. And you can make a simple choice that will forever place you far beyond deception. You need not concern yourself with how and when and why and where and who and whatever this will be done. For this you cannot understand. Faith, by faith you live. By faith you will succeed. By faith you abide. By faith you will be known. Be thyself knowingly. Faith only in the real. Faith only in God. Faith only in love. But you will understand that mighty changes have been quickly brought about when you decide one very simple thing. And please decide this one very simple thing. You do not want whatever you believe an idol gives. You think a person's going to give you love. You think a job is going to give you security. You think money is going to make you happy. You think anything, any person, any place, any event is going to give you what you want. You're trapped. Don't ask for the things to have what you want. Ask to be happy. Ask to know thyself as that which is the happiness, the joy, the extension, the love, the peace of God. Ask only to remember thyself. For thus the Son of God declares he is free of idols. And once you declare you are free, he is free. Salvation is a paradox indeed, and paradoxes can only happen in illusions. In truth, there cannot be paradox. What could be except a happy dream? Salvation is a happy dream because it takes your nightmare you created and given to the memory of God, the Holy Spirit within you. The memory reminds you that you're happy and the dream appears happy. It asks you, but that you forgive all things that no one ever did. No one ever did. You just imagine they did. To overlook what is not there and not to look upon the unreal as reality. You are but asked to let your will be done. And what is your will? Your will is God's will. Thy will be done. And God's will is that you remember yourself as an extension of himself. God's will is that you be thyself knowingly. Knowingly, you are the extension of his love. And seek no longer for things you do not want. You don't want anything in this world. Nothing. No person, no body, no thing, no event, no activity, nothing. You want for nothing. What you want is to know yourself as the love, the joy, the peace, the happiness of God. That's it. And you are asked to let yourself be free of all the dreams of what you never were, and seek no more to substitute the strength of idle wishes for the will of God, because God's will is your will, and God's will be done, because God's will is the only will there is, and is the only will that will be done. Here does the dream of separation start to fade and disappear. For here the gap that is not there, the illusion, the dream that is not there, begins to be perceived without the toys of terror that you made in the hope that they'd give you joy. No more than this is asked. There's no sacrifice here. Be glad indeed, salvation asks so little, not so much. It's just asking you not to place your faith in things. People places things in events, but in the eternal now within you. It asks for nothing in reality. And even in illusions, it but asks forgiveness to be the substitute for fear. Whenever fear comes, you practice forgiveness. Whenever resistance comes, forgiveness. Whenever bitterness comes, whenever anything that doesn't make you feel good, forgiveness. Because forgiveness allows you to abide longer and longer in the silent stillness. And the longer you abide in silent stillness and gratitude, the awareness comes. Because the awareness is always there. The filters drop. The awareness is all that's left behind. All that there ever was. Such is the only rule for happy dreams. The gap, the illusion, is emptied of toys of fear. And then its unreality is plain. Empty as in empty of the attachment. Or you have to give up your house, your car. Dreams are for nothing. And the Son of God can have no need of them. So don't dream of fanciful special love relationships. And certainly don't chase. Because what God wills will come together effortlessly. And I mean effortlessly. If you need to appease someone in order for them to love you, not meant to be Holy Son of God. They offer him no single thing that he could ever want. Illusions just drive you mad. He is delivered from all illusions by his will, which his will is God's will, and but restored to what he is, because what he is God's will. You are God's will. You are God's will. Celebrate this. God willed you into eternal extension. You dreamt you were something else. Return to God's will. What could God's plan for his salvation be except the means to give him to himself? God gave you to himself as an extension of himself. What else could you possibly want? You are the love of God. You are the kingdom in which God abides. Why do you want dreams and fancies? Only ask to be thyself knowing. And then abide in silent stillness so the voice of God, the memory of God in you, can remind you what you are and you can return to and remember what you are, become the member of the family, which is the extension of God's love, God's joy, God's peace, the essence of God extended, expanded, the love, the light, the joy forever. Here now, be as you are.